Welcome back to the Cyborg Show. It's your boy Zion Edmund Salusa tapping in, and I got my main man with me, bro. How you doing, bro?
It's your boy Zay, man. We back at it, man. Episode 2 of Cyborg TV. You understand me?
Yes, sir, man. Cyborg TV, where we interview creative entrepreneurs, and when we emphasize social currency, bro. What's social currency, Zay?
Social currency is using your status to gain like influence in like marketplace such as social media, SMS, and like etc. Man.
For sure, man. We got somebody with some social currency in the house. Y'all might know her. Like she's pretty popular, bro.
Yeah.
I done seen her come up, bro. This is my friend. So I had to bring her on the show, man. So go ahead, introduce yourself for the people who don't know you.
Period. It's your girl AZSOCUTE.
I got my whole girl AZ in the building, Cyborg TV. How you feeling today, AZ?
I'm chilling.
You vibing.
I'm chilling. I'm cool. How y'all feeling?
Man, we feeling good. We glad we got you on here. You know, we interviewed you before, and you were our very first guest.
Yeah.
When we first started interviewing people, we was in the car, and you was on the call, in the middle console.
Bootleg type stuff.
Bootleg. It was real cringy when I didn't listen back.
I was in the car too. We was in the trenches, y'all. We was in the trenches together.
Yeah, we was in the trenches. You know, when it came up, we in a different setting. So, AZ, man, that's what we here to talk about. Like your come up, your recent success. Well, you've been successful since I know you, but we're gonna talk about your journey. So, we asked a young AZ what she wanted to be. What would she have told us?
How young?
Let's say 10-year-old AZ.
10-year-old.
Yeah.
Dang, I really feel like I always want to be like famous, just something big. Like at first I wanted to be a dancer, like a hip hop dancer.
Yeah.
A dancer, like a singer, something. I just want to be something famous. Like I just know I was gonna be big in some way, some form. Like, yeah.
Do you feel like your parents had said like you up for that too though? Like to be where you are?
I mean, like what you mean?
Like, cause I remember like I listened to like the last episode, like your mom had say like the domain of like royalty made it and stuff like that. Use it.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I think they have, yeah.
So you wanted to be a dancer. So like, what was the first thing you actually tried to do in real life? You put some effort into, like, I'm about to try to do this. Like, what's the first thing?
My first effort, I would say, is basketball. Like, I started playing basketball.
I forgot.
I played basketball. But, like, I knew I wasn't really passionate about basketball. Like, you know, I ended up being good, but then I was just like, you know, my senior year, that's when I started doing YouTube. I started going up. I was like, finally, like, I'm not going to do this basketball.
You was a hooper, though. You was on the SC Raptors.
Yeah, I was
always doing AAU tournaments and shit.
Yeah, I was hooping.
so like transitioning from basketball to YouTube, like, what was that transition like for you? And like, where were you in the state? Were you living here in Atlanta, or where were you at?
No, I was still living in South Carolina. Like, at this point, I had switched schools. Like, my high school was my last year of high school. And my coach, like my AAU coach, like she was my high school coach at my other school. So she was like, okay, like I got a job at this charter school, like it's gonna be big, like everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a different type of school when you play basketball. Like it's like, you know, like a charter school. So every college coaches every time. So she like, you know, y'all need to come with me for real. So like me, my friend Shar, my other friend, like we went with her like to school. Like it was like we just gonna go to school. So yeah, so I was playing basketball and stuff, but I had already like I didn't want to play basketball in college because one, I wasn't passionate, and like I saw college, but I was like by then I was gonna be too rich to go to college, so there was no point. Like
so
there was no point. Yeah, exactly. So then like I had met up with my friend Naya, her name's Naya. So she had already had like, you know, some TikTok. I mean not TikTok. She had Instagram. Like she had a few Instagram followers. Like her Instagram was popping, right?
Right.
So we was like dancing on her page. You know what I'm saying? Her basketball uniforms, because she was good as fuck at basketball. Like she was so good. Like oh my god, like she was so good. So our AAU tournaments, like we'd be our basketball dude doing dub smashes, like dancing.
Dub smash?
Yeah, like
so old, bro.
Right? That's crazy, right? So yeah, so we was doing that, and then yeah, like her page is already popping out. At this point, she already had like 100,000 on Instagram. That on Instagram was going crazy back then. So like she was gaining like I'm talking about.
That's when Instagram had the real,
real bags, like everything, every video blowing up. So at that point, we was like, oh my gosh, we was hanging out, we did basketball. We was like, we might as well form a group. We formed a group. We made a page. I'm talking about we put the page up. like in 2 days, paid shit 10K. Like,
How
you know
did that
what I'm
feel, bro? How that shit feel? Cause like you're a celebrity at that point back.
It was just feeling, I don't know. It was like, it was happening so natural. Like it was like, you know how like with manifestation you intend for something to happen, but it was just really happened so effortlessly. Like we did our first YouTube video, we just playing around, barely any edits, just funny, just being us. Video hit 100K, like we like, what's up? Like, you know, like our whole, like, it's so crazy. I could talk about this all day, but like my senior year of high school, it was like a movie. Like the three of us, like we was living like double lives. Like we was like high school. I'm telling y'all, literally, like we was high schoolers who played basketball. Then we was all good, like during the day. Then like, you know, every time we hit the mall, like people asking us to take pictures, videos hitting 1 million. Like we having like, it wasn't like, oh, you just got Instagram followers. We was having like real fans and stuff like that. Like that shit is crazy. Like we couldn't go nowhere without people asking for pictures and stuff.
Hell yeah. So like, so that makes me think of something. Like me and Zay was having this conversation, like people's capacity for success, right? So like, I already feel like I'm already what I want to be. I'm just in the early stages of that shit. So like, when you was describing this situation, did you feel like you was just like in the early stages of your stardom, like the early stages of your come up, cause like you seeing what it could be?
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, like I was reading this deep question the other day. Like I was having this conversation. It was like, what's the point in your life that you felt like changed the whole directory of your life? Like I feel like for me was like my senior year of high school. Like that was a big moment in my life. That's why I remember it so heavy, because that's the first time in my life where like, dang, like I was able, like, and then we was making money. Like it wasn't just the cloud. Like that was the first time
you was getting the YouTube check.
The YouTube check was going crazy. Like we made like 10,000. We made 10,000 in a month off YouTube. Like the checks was like,
high school.
And we was in high school. Like we was in high school, but we was splitting it. But still, like we was doing. You could do Instagram promos. We had all the other stuff, but like that's like 3,000. If we could do like 4,000, we high schoolers. Like we splurged like 4,000.
We going out.
What is you saying? Like, but that's the first time I ever seen like money being created in a way so easy like that. Internet money. I never wrapped my head around it. Like, and then just being a social media. Like, I'm like, this is the first time I really saw my dream. Like, oh my gosh, like I could be bigger. Or I could, this some different shit. This not no normal shit.
You started to see the vision.
Like I started to see the vision. Like, so yeah.
Man, that's crazy because you seen money like in a different way. Because now you don't even want to work no job for real. Because like, man, you just making money, having fun.
Yes, like I worked only one job in my life. Like,
where you worked at?
McDonald's. Mickey D's. Like y'all worked there for 2 weeks.
What you were doing at McDonald's?
Me and my best friend, we think everything is a joke. Like, we was like this.
Don't take that serious. Oh my God.
Nothing serious. We was like, dang, like, okay, like, we played basketball year round, so we never had time for a job. So it really was like, I was working jobs, I was lazy. It was just like, we played basketball. So this one time, we had like, I don't know, this one period where we had like a little time where we didn't have no practice or nothing. It was like, oh my gosh, we so broke. Like, let's go get a job.
We so broke.
We so broke. Like, and it was like, oh yeah, McDonald's hiring on the spot. You know what a job It's so bullshit. Like, literally, I walked in there, I did the application. They was like, when you want to start? That shit was barely filled out. Like, I'm telling you. So then the next day, me and Shar go. Like, I remember it got busy as fuck. Like, it was busy as fuck. We was at the front counter. Like, I'm talking about, we was fucking up everybody order. Like, we barely got trained. Like, we didn't know. We didn't know the system. Like, bro, people getting mad. Like, people cussing us out in the window. Like, I worked there for like, what, 2 weeks?
Oh, my God.
Biggest check was like $150, y'all.
Yeah, you working hard for that.
$100.
Yeah. You know what that made me think of? In your senior year, I think that's when we became friends as well.
Yeah.
And then, like, I remember we was applying to colleges and shit, trying to figure out where we was going to go to college. We was going through that whole shit. So, like, what was your transition from high school to college like? Like, what was that transition like?
Okay, so really, oh my gosh, like, this is like, I feel like a tough spot in my, not tough spot, but it was like we was a group, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, the group, we stopped being a group. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, dang, like, you know how stuff go when money comes into things. It wasn't like a big fallout, but it was like, you know, like we had stopped being a group. So it kind of made it like, damn, like, you know, like, damn, I really thought that was the moment that was gonna take me from there to like my life changing. Like that's what I thought it was. Like, you know, that's what's important in manifestation is that you can't think of like an exact, you know, outcome. Like you just gotta have the intention and whatever comes. But I thought that was it, like for sure. So I was just like, dang, like why the fuck am I going to school? Like why am I going to college right now? But I was like, I'm not finna not go to college and I don't have like a for sure thing, because if we were still a group, if we were still making the money, I was like, okay, cool, like, you know. But I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna go to school until something happened. Like, I might as well go. And I was trying to get out of South Carolina because I hate South Carolina.
How you describe growing up in South Carolina?
Growing up in South Carolina, I mean, I always felt like a lot different because I wasn't born in South Carolina. Like, I was born in Israel, then I moved to Atlanta, I moved from Atlanta. And then, you know, if nobody knows, well, people know, but I'm vegan, right? So I'm black, I'm vegan, I'm from Israel. Like, I felt like such an oddball at all times. Yeah, like, you know, I always felt like I was different. Like, and you know, when you were a kid in high school and elementary, you be wanting to fit in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just a little bit. Like, it feels weird to be the oddball, but I just always felt like that. So I just felt like nobody understood how I thought. Nobody, you know, even if I had friends, I had a lot of friends, you know, it's just like, nobody just really got it. Like, I always been, like, super, like, big dreams and, like, you know, I always been the same person, like, in, like, not the same, but you know what I mean? Yeah. So I just feel like, I just always feel like, oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. Like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, South Carolina, everybody got like a small mindset.
Yeah, small minds. It's like crabs in the bucket. They don't like nothing different. Like in South Carolina, like look, they're probably like, you hate on South Carolina.
Yeah, they gonna talk about that,
right? But what you call like the most like y'all, them the most popular people. They the lamest people in the world right now. Like they make the lamest people popping. They don't support nothing good. Like it's just it's a small town. Y'all know small towns like they be hating.
Yeah, because Jim just said, my brother has told me in high school, like, bro, all the people that's popping, man, they're going to pop out. And then the real people that's real, like, all thinking, like, you said you was different, but you was already, like, unique, but you just had to find, like, your element. Yeah. And then, like, that group kind of helped you find it, but then you started to be popping. So, like, I wanted to ask you, like, so people know you as AZSOCUTE. Mm-hmm. So, who is Ariana Grande?
No, that's so funny. Oh my god, everybody asked that question like, y'all. So on my first, I had three TikTok accounts, mm-hmm. But the first one, like the one I had like in 2020, it had got banned type shit like that on some lame shit. It got banned. Yeah. But I had this running joke on there that I look exactly like Ariana Grande because I look nothing like her. Like it's funny because I don't look nothing like her, but it was a joke. Like I was like, I look exactly like her, like, and it would just always go viral. Like that was like one of my first jokes. I would just keep doing it. So then I was like, shit. When I made the little spin page, I was just like, shit. My name AZ. I was like AZSOCUTE. Like that's all it was. Like it's just a joke.
So how does it feel when you see like people actually be taking your humor seriously online? Like they seriously rock with your humor, and you be like, I'm actually kind of funny, and a lot of people think that shit. Or do you even take that shit to heart?
What you mean, like
when you do something on the internet and you just being yourself, but like people find it amusing and interesting? Yeah. How do you take that in?
It's like, I don't know. Like, you know, real funny people, they don't think they funny, like, or they be trying to be funny. Like, I do not be trying to be funny. Like, I don't know. I read somewhere somebody was like, oh, yeah, that was like, she only funny when she not funny when she try to be funny. I'm like, bitch, I don't try to be funny ever. Like, I did just be talking and people think it's funny. I'll be like, it'd be the most random stuff I'll say. They'll be like, oh, my God, you're so funny. I should be like, I guess. I guess.
Yeah. So what's your favorite most viral idea? You got the Just Vibe, you got the Ain't No Blicky, It's Sticky. So what's your favorite one? Because I done seen so many like celebrities like this use your sound.
Like, what's my favorite thing that I been viral for? It's gonna have to be the Just Vibe. Like, Just Vibe's so global.
Yeah,
like,
you did make a song, and that wasn't even your first song though.
Oh, tight.
So we know the first one, Yellow on Me Like It's Cold.
Yes, man. But Just Vibe is my favorite.
For sure, you turned Just Vibe into a business.
A business. That's why it was my favorite. I made some money off Just Vibe because I was like, oh my gosh, like when I was in high school, like we was making money off YouTube. Like we make money off YouTube, but that's like the only thing we like, you know, that's something that comes like, you know, but we wasn't using everything to make money, like the most money that we could. Because we high schoolers. Ain't nobody around us could tell us. All we knew was YouTube. So I was like, oh my gosh, like the second time Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I get big, like, I knew it was gonna happen. I was like, I'm not going out where I'm not making like a bunch of money from social media or like using my influence or my followers to make dollars. Cause a lot of people be having hella followers and it's not their fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to use the people.
Yeah. Like, they don't know how to monetize this shit.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought like influence at one point. I thought influence was like more important than money. But then I met people with little to no followers that had a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, if you're on the internet and you ain't using your followers to get money, you kind of like playing the game wrong. Because these people without followers that's touching real money. So it's like, what's the point of that shit if you ain't figuring it out?
Yeah.
But that leads me to my next question, AZ. So like, let's get back to your journey. You was in high school or you went to college. So what was your freshman year of college like as a creator? Did the group stay together? Did you start to create more of your own content? You had the college content going. Like, what was going on during that time of your life?
Okay, so like I said, like the member, right? Okay, so Naya, I'm just saying her name. Shout out to you, Naya.
Shout out.
Okay, so Naya, like, you know, at the time, like, that's nothing. Like, groups is important because she was the most popular in the group. Like, she was the most popular. She had the most followers. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was really there because her. You know, initially, like, they stayed for the group, but
that's the good. They had like 100K, right?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? At this point, she had like 1 million followers. Like, she was, you know, she was the most popular. So when she left the group, it was like, okay, like me and Charlotte was like, okay, we might as well keep it going. You know, and at first it's like everybody like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the group ain't there without her. Like,
she was the star.
Yeah, like she was the star for sure. Like, they was just like, you know, they wasn't really messing with it. But I was just like, okay, we just gotta keep going, keep going, keep going. So like, you know, we go off to college and like we wasn't consistent. I feel like it was kind of hard because, like I said, we still teenagers. So it's like the hate, like it wasn't hate, but it's just kind of like, dang, like nobody want to watch it for real. The views start to plummet, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, you have to keep going, but it's just like no motivation. Like, damn, like we don't, you know what I'm saying? So at this point, we get to college or whatever. But I'm starting to see, you know, and a lot of time I used to always be like that. But like, I was the one who wanted it the most. Like, you know what I'm saying? I, like, you know, it was kind of my dream, and I felt like I projected it onto everybody else. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because like I was the one, like, we all, you know, we was all the group, but you know, I was the one like, okay, y'all, let's do the videos, I'm the one who edited every single video. Like, you know, I was the one who was like, you know, like, yeah, like on it. So I was like, my best friend Shar, like, I felt like she wanted to do it, but it wasn't like the same type of feeling like how it was. So I was like, you know what, like, we don't have to do the group no more. Like, we could just do our own channels, and then whenever we want to make a video, we could just make a video together. You know, and she was just like, okay, cool. You know, she was kind of in the college life. She was like, college was more like, you know, vibing with her, like, you know, like, and I was just like, while I was in college, y'all, like, oh my gosh, I was like, bro, like, I'm dead, not supposed to be here. Like, I was doing good, I had good grades, but I was like, bro, like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I'm supposed to be big. Like, this is not what was supposed to happen. Like, so
you was feeling like dissatisfied during that time?
Yeah, I really was. Like, I had went through like a whole like little depressive stage. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just wasn't feeling like myself because it was like by then, like, you know, the clout had dried up. You know, obviously we're not doing videos no more. So you know, like, the money dried up. It's like, dang, like now I'm like a regular person in college, and this was not what I saw.
So that's like your first hardship, like as an adult. So so what was your mindset? Like, how you get out of that hardship? Because you was in the group, the girl left the group, now you figuring it out. So you basically talking about like your lessons you learned along like your creative entrepreneurial journey, like before you are what you are today. So like, what lessons had you learned up until that point?
The lesson I learned was that at first, like, things can come in a different like outcome. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, the things you have in your head, how you think something, like, you can't be so fixated on a certain result, because if you don't get it, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? Like, you know, and that's how I was feeling. I was like, what is going on? And like, the biggest lesson that, oh my gosh, like, I just every single day, like, it's like, you gotta keep going, like, because that was my biggest regret. It's like, dang, like, whenever me and my first year, we would stop posting videos for a month and we wouldn't do it, I was like, and the views, like, at the time, we'd be like, oh, the views was low. Like, the views, I look back, I'm like, damn, it's not even that low compared to now. Now it's really low. Like, all we had to do was just keep going and keep going, and we would have been cool. You know what I'm saying? It was like, we just kept stopping. Like, all I had to do was keep going. Like, I feel like those were, like, the lessons I learned.
I would say that community always talk, like, I mean, really, like, you like, you know, like the group had split, so you really had to pivot.
Yeah.
And then you had to find like your own element. Like you really had like to like discover yourself. So it was like, you know, and like consistency is like, you know, like important. And then what I also set up is like, you know, with like the girl, like, you know, everybody may have a vision, but they don't got to work at it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, when I had made like a tweet like everywhere you go, man, you a brand. So what do you want people to take from you as like AZSOCUTE?
AZSOCUTE, I think I want people to take from me is that you could be yourself, and that I honestly, like, anything is possible. Like, that sounds so like what you call it, but yeah, but like you could really create your life. You could really do what you want. Like, you just gotta think about that. You just gotta do that shit. Like, seriously. Like, but yeah, being yourself, cause like I didn't got it so far by just being me. Like, I don't do nobody. Like, I be like this in real life. Like, I'm just me. Like,
so alright, AZ, so like just leave me. So you was in college, and boom, pandemic. Nobody saw the pandemic coming. You was all in college. So how did the pandemic affect you when you was going through that? Like, cause I feel like the pandemic really was like a good thing that happened to you as your friend. Seeing you grow out of the pandemic. Let's talk about that.
Facts. Honestly, y'all can blame me for the pandemic, cause let me tell y'all why. Like, I was asking God. I was like, oh my gosh, please find me a way about college. Like, find me a way. Like,
you was on the phone with God.
Yes, I'm like something to stop it. Like, so I don't have to go, or something big to come. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm just like, bruh, like, and I didn't want to be in South Carolina because I didn't even touch on that. Like,
Where did you in college at? We didn't even tell them.
I went to Claflin, which is in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and I messed with Claflin. Like, it was a fun school. It was a good school. Yeah, HBCU.
We was big on that shit when we was applying to college. Like, bro, we gotta go to the HBCU. Like that was like
no other option. Yeah, but I wanted to go to Clark Atlanta because I wanted to get out of South Carolina.
Yeah.
I was like, but Clark Atlanta, like, they had offered me some money like super late, and it was still gonna be super expensive. And I was like, I do not want to have so much debt, and I don't even want to go to school for it. Like, so I might as well just go to school in the city. You know what I'm saying? Still at HBCU, and my best friend was going, so I was like, I'm gonna go. But wait, what was the question again? Cause look, I'm going all right.
I was like, how did the pandemic affect you? Because like, as your friend, it seemed like the pandemic really helped you a lot.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, find me a way out of college. Find me a way to come out of this shit.
Okay, then God hit you with it.
Yeah, like, then we get out of school. I remember like the professor, he had said something. She was like, yeah, like, y'all know the cases of corona or something in China is up to this amount, and people in America gotta be all like, what is this nigga talking about?
Bro said he funny.
Like, what is he talking about?
You thought he was just talking there?
Yeah, like, I was ignored. Then I'm like, we get out of school. I'm like, okay, like, all right. At first, like, it was lit. Everybody was happy. Like,
we on spring break.
Right? We are at home. Like, we don't come back. Like, school ended early. We online with it. Like,
no tests.
Like, we was feeling the vibes. But I remember, like, during the pandemic, like, I was going to sleep. Like, we was on lockdown, I think. Like, I would go to sleep on my phone. Like, I mean, wake up on my phone, go to sleep on my phone, be in the bed, like, doing nothing. Like, I was same thing every day. Like, I was just like, and I remember waking up, I was just like, you know what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm gonna go get me some money. Like, cause we seen here, all we got is time. Like, nobody doing nothing. Like, nobody can really doing nothing. Nobody really can go to work. Nobody going to school. Like, I'm like, I got all this time. You know what? I was like, you know what? I'm not finna be broke. Like, I'm finna make me some money.
Get some money.
I'm finna make me some money. And so that's how it all started with the business stuff.
Quarantine made it.
Yeah.